All right, we got 6. All right. Good evening. Welcome. And I'll call to order the City of Hancock Council meeting Wednesday, October 20th, 2021. Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wow.
Here.
Lytle.
Here.
Freeman.
Here.
Levine.
Here.
Carr.
Here.
Wordsworth. Here. Isaac.
6 present, 1 absent. We do have a quorum. I would recommend that entertain a motion to excuse Councilmember Heisler from tonight's meeting, and if you know, he let us know his reasons for leaving that. Second. Appreciate it.
Okay, we got it.
Whoever got the motion, and I'll give her a second. Discussion. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Carried. Review and approval of agenda. Mary, do you have something you want to add?
We do have an item that should be number 8 on the agenda. It's payment request number 3 for the Hancock Campground Bathhouse. The total current request is $42,147.
Even? 43, 145.
It's the 4th request.
Oh, sorry.
You should all have a copy of it.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That has been approved. All right, moving on then, we'll start with our presentation. We have Dave Rowe, the CEO. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, council members. And Mary, thank you for having me. My name is David Rowe. I'm the CEO of the MTech Smart Zone. I took that position on August 1st of this past year. A little background on me. I'm born and raised in Calumet, 1979 graduate of Calumet High School. After high school, went on to earn 2 degrees from Michigan Tech University, and then ultimately an MBA from Michigan State University. And my first career opportunity out of that experience was right across the street at B&N Bank. At the time it was B&N Bank, I was the Director of Marketing and Operations Development at the bank. I spent the bulk of my career in the Denver area, growing a group of building material distribution companies. Came back to the area in November of 13. Spent some time working for a high-tech manufacturing firm based in Calumet, and then spent about a 6.5-year term with Systems Control. I pioneered their engineering services office in Hancock. In Houghton at the Smart Zone Talent Bridge program. Systems Control employs 750 people in Iron Mountain, and we grew our business and home to about 15 engineers and technicians. I do have a background in angel funding and investment. I'm one of the founding directors of Innovation Shore Angel Network, where we provided seed funding to startups in the high technology realm. Since my commencement of my tenure at the Smart Zone, I've been involved in a number of initiatives. Some of the programs that, William, you're probably aware of, the Smart Start program. We're emerging from this COVID era. And we've had our first Smart Start class commence about a month ago, where we have largely in-person training, and some of that is online as well. In our Transformative Technology program, had a couple of successes recently. You may have seen news item in the papers relative to Waldo. This is a company based in Chassel. An individual who's in the logging industry is taking new technology and has helped develop an app whereby logging truckers and others in that industry can more efficiently identify loads for transportation and manage chain of custody. So we're taking, with Waldo taking essentially Model T technology and putting it in an electric car realm, the Tesla realm. So And Waldo recently received $300,000 in private investment, so that's a new incremental investment to that initiative. Very exciting opportunity there. Providing space technology, which many of you have heard of over the past few years, and recently won an award at the Michigan Venture Capital Association meeting in Dearborn. I was there for that meeting. They won the award for Financing of the Year. They recently were awarded a $20 million Series B funding round to help continue to grow that entity and add jobs in the area. I met with City Manager Babcock about a month and a half ago, talked about a number of topics, and one thing I wanted to learn more about was the Industrial Park Initiative. I got some information during our meeting and have since followed up with Jeff Radcliffe and others, so we're certainly keeping our eyes and ears open relative to possible tenants of the industrial park, and there's a couple of very early stage conversations in that realm, so certainly we're cognizant of that and hoping to have companies locate, establish manufacturing or other businesses at the industrial park and bring jobs to the community. FinZone, which is another initiative from the Smart Zone that you may be aware of. The FinZone, the contingent from Finland had a plan to visit about a year and a half ago, but due to COVID, those visits were put on hold. And right now we're anticipating a visit in February timeframe, perhaps mid-February, by a delegation of 6 or 8 individuals from Finland. Last week, the MTech Smart Zone had its annual meeting. As a part of that event, we had 7 people from Lower Michigan, 2 with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and the balance of that group were venture capitalists. They're interested in looking at companies and emerging technology in this area, looking at companies to fund. I must say that they were very impressed with the area and progress that's being made here. So that was a very good meeting. And here in the city of Hancock, I will be involved on the advisory committee for the International School of Business at Finlandia. So I was invited to participate with that group by Kevin Mannanen, and our first meeting will be the first week of November. That's just a very high-level overview of some of the activities I've been involved in my personal background. I welcome any questions.
Are you related to Corey Grove?
No relation, but no Corey well.
Oh, okay, yeah, I grew up on.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've been busy.
We've been busy. I tell you, it's a very exciting opportunity. Relish the opportunity to get involved. Given my background, I view this as an opportunity for me to use some of my entrepreneurial experience and my larger business experience and experience in funding startup companies as well as managing engineering functions, well-established manufacturers. So it really gives me an opportunity to use that collective set of experiences to apply to the mission at the Smart Zone.
Well, I really applaud what you guys do. I love the idea of the business incubation idea where these startups who might not have a chance in the wild, free market, they have a chance to grow, let their ideas come to fruition. So, I'm happy that you're the CEO in our company.
Thank you, and look forward to continuing to work closely with all of you.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you.
Thank you, folks. Take care.
All right, next we have communications. Communications from Christine Wagner, thanking us for her opportunity to work with the city. As you may know, she is our realtor for the First Haven Estate lots by the Episcopal Hospital. And she's done a great job there, so we thank her as well. Or I do at least. It seems every week or two, Mary, we get something on these lots, right? With this precision.
I'm sorry, the lots. Oh, there
Just
should
don't
be,
do the communication.
oh, yeah, so there should be an action item tonight too.
Yeah, we have an action item tonight.
Yeah, and then I think there's another one that's in the process of being written up right now.
Yeah, so there's a lot of.
She's done a great job for us.
Thank you, Christine. We have communication for the Portage Health Foundation and thanking the city for our pledge to upset. We discussed and approved. And I think that's some great things. All right, we have communication from EGLE charge-up request. Good news here, they have completed the 7th round of reviews of applications. Is that normal?
Sounds about right.
And this is for the electrical vehicle charging. And that our project has been selected for funding. That's great. I'm surprised it's 7 round. Anyway. And we have our regular communication here from the Portage Lake Water and Sewer Authority, which is Flowage. It's a little different than the usual provide. And percentages, others. And you seem to be pretty stable, which is good. All right, that's all the communications I have. I entertain a motion to accept the communication.
So, second.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Right now, we move on to our first public comment. Anyone who wishes to address the council will be recognized.
Susan Burak with Stop Building. I have a suggestion, a proposal, that the council schedule some ward meetings with the idea of interacting with residents and sharing with them some of the wonderful new positive things that have been happening in the community. Also an opportunity to get some feedback in the neighborhood about issues and concerns, and a way to introduce council members to residents. Some communication.
Anyone else wish to address the council? All right, not seeing anyone, I will now close our first public comment. There will be a second public comment near the end of our meeting tonight. On to some minutes, some housekeeping here, is the review and acceptance of the cemetery board meeting minutes of April 13, 2021. Second. Second, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of accepting the cemetery meeting minutes? Say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have review and approval of our regular city council meeting minutes of October 6, 2021. Any motion to approve
Second.
those? Any discussion, questions, corrections? Fortunately, Councilmember Heisler isn't here to correct that in any minutes, so.
We'll get us next time. 30 minutes.
I mean, I think, you know, let's see. Anyway. All right, all those in favor of approving those meeting minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, now at this time, we'll turn it over to our city manager, Mary Babcock, for the administrative report. So you're.
I'm gonna start off by, we have run into a snag on the Tiscuku and Hancock Avenue Proud FEMA project, and we all had general glass. So that is why that street has been blocked up for so long. Hopefully we will get that open tomorrow. We are going to start some block work at the stairs along Tiscuku Street that go down to Portland Park. The design has had to change, and so it's not going to be as we originally thought with the mine rock in there. You're going to see some blocks and some concrete, and then we will have some iron railing there. But there has been, it has taken a lot longer than originally planned. As you know, that we were acknowledged and recognized as an International City of Peace. We're the 338th city that was given that designation. The goal of the organization is to have 1,000 cities by 2025. So they're well on their way with that. The dog park has definitely been moving along. They have made strides. We've had a couple work nights out there with different volunteers. We had them go in and do some clearing on the edges for the fencing. I mean, it looks like a totally different property, and it's really shaping up well, and it has some really nice infrastructure within the land itself. So the fence should go up in the next week or so, and our goal is to get the park open with very minimal amenities for this fall. We're gonna get up real basic signage, we're gonna get that fence up, and there'll maybe be a bench or two, but they might not even come before we close up. So, and then that will be kept open all year, and John Eagle will help with maintaining that access. So we're really looking forward to seeing what it's going to look like with that fence in there, and we've had really great feedback about the spot that it's in. So we finally received a preview of our website, which I've included in your packet tonight. Opus Web has been working on it for quite a while, and it should be done by the end of October. Right now, if you would like to, I could send you a link and you could see more pages. But it is, it's a vast improvement from what we have right now, and we can tweak it as we go and make improvements as we move along and use it. So we're really excited to get that one moving forward. We are once again going to have the home holiday decorating contest for all the homes in Hancock. We will hopefully get a few more this year involved, and it was very well received, so we thought we would go and do it again this year. We're going to follow the same theme as the holiday walk, the Christmas walk. That will be held November 26th, which is going to be based on Whoville theme this year. And most of the Whoville display will be on Quincy Green towards the Finnish American Heritage Center this year. We did not want to put it in Memorial Park like we had in the past due to the new design over there. So we're really excited about it. If anybody would like to volunteer to help with the decorating, there is a committee that's doing it. So we appreciate that. And Superior National Bank was kind enough to offer the prizes again for the home holiday decorating contest.
How many we had last year?
I'm thinking it was was it 11?
11.
And then we created a map, and there were quite a few people that called for the map so they could go around and see them.
You touched them already.
No, I think, oh yeah.
That was fun, that was kind of fun. I was doing it.
Yeah. So hopefully we've had some personnel change in the last couple weeks. As you know, Bill Marler will be retiring towards the end of November. We have worked pretty diligently to get a new hire in his spot, and John Erickson has agreed to come aboard as our new DPW director, and it will happen probably the first week of November. So he will get an opportunity to work with Bill. And then Leroy Kenny has retired after 43 years with the DPW, well-deserved retirement, and he is, so we will also be putting out an ad for a heavy equipment operator to fill that position. You should be seeing that in the newspaper soon. And we've also interviewed for some new office staff. There is an offer out to a candidate, and we should have more with that in the next couple weeks. So things are definitely moving forward. We've had great pools of candidates to work with, and so we're excited for to get them on board. So downtown, we've had some changes, and you can slowly see things kind of moving forward. We have a store opening up on the 300 block of Quincy Street called Refill UP. It's going to be for refilling household supplies and soap, so you don't have to keep using the plastic containers. You'll be able to go and refill them. So that's an exciting addition to the city. We had Mood Spa that opened up in the Annex building by the old hospital on West Water Street. Sunshine Coffee and Used Books is going to be opening very soon in November, and they are located in the old Saracen Dental building across from the, from Old Main on the Finlandia campus. So it'll be great to have another coffee house in Hancock. Kankis Cafe is now for sale. The current owners are retiring, so if you know of anybody interested in that location, it's kind of a great location with a nice kitchen right in the Doodle Center. And that's about all I have for you tonight.
Thank you, Mary. Are there any questions, comments for our city manager? Doesn't appear to be. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. All right, now we'll move on to our business items tonight. So we have new business item number 1, consider approval of our accounts payable in the amount of $236,478.56.
Make a motion, you pay the bills.
Second.
And second, the discussion, questions. Accounts payable. If there's no objection, then I'll put it to a roll call vote.
Marshall?
Yes.
Thorne?
Yes.
Levine?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Vital?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
6 in favor, none opposed, motion carries. The bills have been paid. Business item number 2, consider appointment of James DeClerc to the Board of Review with a term ending 12/31/2020. Now, I do want to look at that a little carefully because it doesn't, I was wondering if we can make his appointment through the next. I was talking to John about it.
So
It doesn't
that
make
would,
sense he's only for a couple months.
yes, I agree with you. We had put it at 2024, and at the last meeting, it was discussed, so I put it back to 2021.
Okay.
But I think 2024 is, Jim would agree to that.
Okay, is there any objection to that? All right. So then I would consider entertaining a motion to, well, I will nominate James DeClerc to the Board of Review, the term ending, would that be 12/31/2024?
Yes.
Is there? Seconded by Wood. Any discussion? Application here. Involved the community, yes, planning, research, decision making, engineering background.
I think he's been looking to get involved for
He really
a
has.
nice long-term thing for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, board review is very important. I don't want to say thank you. It's not an easy. They only meet a few times a year, but it's rather. I appreciate Mr. DeClerc for looking to serve the community. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Clerk, no one, then who's gonna step down on?
Glencore.
Do we accept his resignation then, or do we want to wait?
We already did.
Do we accept those contingent on appointments?
Right.
Okay, so I guess the contingent's been made, so I guess we accept his resignation.
I think we did, I know it was on the agenda a couple months ago.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll just make sure those people.
Yeah.
All right, consider approval of the addendum to the Rural Transit Assistance Program, third-party contract addendum in the amount of $5,500 even for training.
So this is,
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second? Is there a second?
A second.
All right, it's motion is second. Mary, you want to speak to the motion?
This is just a real, it's an every year thing, and this is money that we could use as a transit authority to spend for training in whatever way where we have a void that we feel like we can, learn something, like it can be the lead driver that can go, it can be Linda that goes to, for accounting training. There's lots of options, so that's what we'll use it for.
Any discussion? So do a roll call vote.
Wow.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Bean.
Yes.
Woodburn.
Yes.
Forster. Yes.
In favor and opposed, motion carries. Addendum has been approved. Citizen number 4, consider introduction of ordinance 308, an ordinance to amend chapter 150 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Dangerous Buildings, the city code for the city of Hancock.
I'll move approval.
Seconded, discussion. Anyone want to speak to this?
So this is, we currently have a dangerous building ordinance within our ordinances, but this one is going to align that with the state ordinances, and it'll make it quite a bit easier to actually proceed and follow to make sure that we process it correctly, and we have more latitude with this one. So we really just want to, and then if it's changes, we'll stay aligned with that one.
This has been reviewed and approved by our city attorney.
Yes, this has been reviewed by the city attorney.
He drafted it.
He drafted it. And it was also his suggestion that we move forward with adopting this rather than our current ordinance.
Well, I like it. I like being in line with the state statute. Of course, that won't be certain, but I addressed it myself here, so I'm kind of talking to myself. But I did look this over. I like it. There is one thing in here that does make a misdemeanor under our statute, and normally we try to make things civil infraction. Yeah, so what we are proposing here for section 6 of this ordinance is non-compliance with the order. So if there's an order approved or modified by the city council, then if they fail to abide by that, there is a possible misdemeanor.
Okay, so I will have that change made.
I was wondering, we don't have to, I just wondered if we're comfortable with that.
Because the civil infraction is less than a misdemeanor, correct?
Right, and also doesn't involve jail time, so the procedure is much more simple. There's no liberty at this.
As a council, could it, you just say, let's make it a civil infraction rather like on a case-by-case basis?
Yeah, I'm curious, it says 120 days or a fine.
Right.
Whose discretion is that? Is it the council or is it the attorney that's prosecuting?
That would go to the prosecutor. And then it would be a sentencing.
Okay, so we don't.
I mean, we can send a recommendation at sentencing saying, hey, we want, but at the same time, I'm like, well, if they don't follow our order, we might need some teeth on it too.
What do you say, Paul?
I prefer to make this a civil infraction. So,
Okay. I'll get that change made before, I'll make a note on here that you're gonna endorse it with this change.
yeah, I want to amend I think it's chapter 99, our code is a civil infraction.
Makes it a lot easier.
I think so. And that's been advice from our municipal attorney that to try to make things infraction. Now, I was thinking if this was a refusal to comply with the court order, that's different, but I guess I'm not comfortable as a council member, somebody to produce an order that could lead to somebody going to jail. So that would be my office. Everything else is pretty straight from the statute, I think, on a sort of order, which is a good thing. We don't want to get too creative with different state legislation.
The misdemeanor, I don't use criminal action.
Yeah, it's less than a year. Felony is more than a year.
So you have that unsafe building. I mean, I can't see that being criminal action.
No, and I mean, if someone got injured by it, then it could be in a different law.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. If somebody was hurt by it, that's when
But I mean, that's how the statute reads, they want to make that misdemeanor. I mean, it's hard for me to justify jail time for somebody who's not taking care of it.
And we have switched most of our ordinances, so everything's a civil infraction. We've gotten rid of the misdemeanor and almost everything else, so it kind of would go along with that same.
Yeah, that's kind of the philosophy. Because, I mean, when ordinances were passed back in the day, misdemeanors, but nowadays it's, even by prosecutors and so attorneys. Because then they get, full rights to attorney and juries and stuff, and it's just a civil infraction, so it's like a speeding ticket.
So we keep the fine up to $1,000 and just do a civil infraction, get it over the senior and
Well, our civil infraction, we have a fee schedule for the first time.
okay. That's not first.
It's $100.
That's $100. But
That's
that's by
$100 a day rather than $1,000.
That could be $100 a day.
Also because of that.
Right.
Bucks a day.
The goal is not to use the civil infraction, is to try and be a little bit proactive and get them to comply.
Yeah.
A couple times so far, we've had to bring that up this year.
So I guess I would entertain an amendment then to our ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
So the motion is to amend the ordinance, section 6, without compliance with order, change misdemeanor to civil infraction. And then, I'd like to have specific language stated for this motion, but I think if we just use, but if we just use language that's in line with our other ordinances saying it will be civil infraction, I think it's.
Yep, and this will entail a public hearing,
Right.
and so we can modify it now before we advertise and put it to the public hearing.
So I will put to a vote then, or all those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, so the amendment passes. So we're back to the main motion, and any other questions or comments on this ordinance? This is a lot here, but it is statute, so it's not like this is just it'll give us a little more teeth and flowers, rather than trying to use some old creaky ordinance we got. Something already.
Yeah. We've had a couple instances this year when we've tried to use the old one, and it has met some roadblocks that have been made it very difficult. People don't live in the area.
And I think that's the intent of this statute, is to help us, so these are sides to give us. And then we can discuss this more, and then of course before we actually go off, because there is a process that we're going to do. Okay, I'll do a roll call vote then on the motion to introduce the ordinance as amended. Then the ordinance will be probably ordinance 308.
Forster? Yes. Ricard?
Yes.
Levine?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Lytle?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
6 in favor, none opposed, motion carries. The ordinance has been introduced as amended. Guess we'll get voting on that. And then is our attorney going to prepare a summary then?
Yes. I'll have them make this change and then prepare a summary to put the newspaper and publicize.
When we think we're going to introduce, we're going to adopt the ordinance.
Yeah, it won't be till
Our next November, middle meeting, or third meeting.
the second meeting in November. The first meeting will be the organizational, and then we'll have the public hearing for this.
Excellent. Okay, moving on. Consider approval of the agreement with Kate code enforcement software for rental and code enforcement in the amount of $2,000 even per year.
So moved.
Second is discussion. Speak to this to Mary, maybe.
So, this is something that we've been trying to find the correct tool that we can use to keep track of our rental Because it's not just a simple spreadsheet, we have notices that we need to send out that follow up, being able to run clear reports and have data for the council. So this will help with that, but it'll also help with the actual code enforcement for other infractions in the city. You know, a lot of times we give 10 days and that, you know, before you know it, 10 days is up. Well, this software will trigger something within the system, and that we are able to put our like our sample notices, and then it'll fill them for the exact infraction. So this should really help with that process. The rental ordinance has been there's a lot of paperwork to that, and keeping it straight is pretty hard and following up. So we really needed a tool to work, and Ashley has done some investigating. She's sat through a couple demos. She's talked to somebody that used it. So this looks like it will work for us.
Sounds like there's due diligence done and it helps that save time and resources. Any other questions or discussion on this item?
I think it would be really difficult to keep the data and timelines, keep track of them without something like this. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, another thought of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all different types of things we're trying to follow. I think this makes sense. And I think it will also kind of help our residents understand that there will be kind of fairness in the way that our ordinances are. There won't be things slipping through the cracks or.
Yeah, and it'll give us a good paper trail for these things.
And I would imagine it'll make it easier for everyone, because Ashley doesn't know, right? And then, so someone else could, if she's gone or something, like, you know, they'll kind of.
Right. Like right now we have them in two separate spreadsheets, so she's got to touch this one for this and then that one, and you're actually able to bring this out right in the field.
Yeah.
For when we do follow-ups, and so then you can spit the letter and it'll sit there till we get in the office and go right to the printer bin. And also our rental inspector can also use it and do his inspections right on there, so it just is all contained right inside of the software.
There's a discussion, so come to a roll call vote.
Wow.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Bean,
Yes.
Burkhart,
Yes.
Wagner,
Six in favor, none opposed, motion carried. All right, so we have a business on number 6, consider appointment of Adam Griffiths to the Hancock Planning Commission with a term ending date of February 15, 2023. Now, I do want to discuss this a little bit before we go to a motion here, but I'm talking to a few people about this. And there was some discussion about keeping that position open on the planning commission until the zoning ordinance is final. Because there's some concern that maybe there's too much going on with the planning commission for us to have. Is that kind of a discussion has been?
Discussion. I think that we probably need to wrap a few things up, get out before we add some more.
Okay. So I'm opening it up for any thoughts on this before we go over. You're on the planning commission.
Yeah.
Doing a whole lot.
So you'd rather have an open seat that's tile seat?
Yeah, this is policy.
Do you think it'd be better to have somebody not on there than somebody on there?
Yeah, I think I'd like the zoning ordinance draft all the way through the process and get to. We can discuss it at the next planning commission meeting too.
Frankly, I'd like the original planning commission. But that's the
Yeah.
you know,
To me, it wouldn't matter either way.
not the best position.
You know, I wouldn't, if he wants to start an upgrade, you know, I mean,
wants to dive in and try to figure things out for you too.
Yeah, I guess what we could do is invite, Ed to the next planning commission meeting, we can discuss it at that point.
Yeah.
The way this motion was started is I would appoint, and then you guys would approve it. If I don't appoint, then it's just kind of like a table.
Everything's good language. I didn't do a motion on the table.
No, I haven't done a motion yet. I didn't want to like appoint them before we discuss this, because then most people are talking. Of course, we would keep the application, and once this is done, certainly planning commission, I would refer to that as well.
The next planning commission meeting, Marion?
This Monday.
It's Monday, so that would be a good deal for them to come to the meeting.
Okay. Is that something you should
What's his name?
Adam, Griffiths. It's the only application I've received.
How long is that, Steve? Oh, that part, right, I remember. Did we put somebody in, just put it there, just there?
Yeah. Otherwise, I would just not do the appointment, and would just say no action.
Good.
All right. All right, so we'll,
I'm gonna refrain from this,
So I think we'll get Mary contact him and ask him to come to the meeting, that's a good idea.
okay, I got you, yeah, I got it. Yeah, so that's your husband then? Okay, well, that's not a bar, because there's precedent for that, I'm sure that's not an issue. But yeah, there's a few people talking to me about the planning commission. Okay, so we'll just take no action on number 6 for now, but certainly something to consider. All right, on business item number 7, consider approval of a purchase agreement for lot 24 of First Haven Estates in the amount of $18,500 within 14 days for city council to approve. And second, any discussion? So this is about 500 under asking.
Yes.
But we did counter.
We did counter, they originally offered 17,000 and we brought it back up. And it's a very short close, 14 days. It's supposed to close within 14 days, so that's a quick close, so that helps that also.
Local person.
It was a name, I didn't know the name.
I can't see the name.
What's the name of it?
Anita Davis.
Heard that.
Yeah, they live on Fortune Road in Hancock. And I guess I'd say that a lot of it, we've had a lot of interest in this, and honestly, when we counter, you people are like, sure. There's no nagging, it's just like, if you want to buy it,
Yeah. So we counter with 85.
they accept it.
That's
So, we have to bring it to council. Just trying to make it. This will be number 6. 7.
I think it's the 6th one we've sold.
How many total are there?
There were 14.
Yeah. Great.
We've sold 6 since we revisited.
Right. There's one in the works right now, there's this one, and lot 13 hasn't closed.
Yeah. Yeah, some things I can't say because it's still in the negotiations. But there's an interest put it on. All right, any other discussion on the purchase agreement?
I'm kind of seeing through this now to see what they got a time frame that will anything on there, or 1 year, 1 year, so.
That development actually has covenants, so that they have 1 year.
Okay.
I think it's in here. Yeah, it is in here.
I think it's
Oh, Bulldog Heights is technically the.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in there, it's just easier.
Come on, Rick, it's Exhibit A, number 2, paragraph 3. Yeah, construction of any building or other structures must be proceeded with reasonable diligence until fully completed. Construction must be completed within 18 months from the start of construction. Driveway must be cemented and all. But I was like, I think it's longer than that. Anything else? All right, I'll do a roll call vote, please, to approve the purchase.
Worsler,
Yes.
Rickard,
Yes.
Levine,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Vital,
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
6 in favor, none opposed, motion carries. Lot 24 purchase agreement approved. Moving on to public comments. No, I'm sorry, moving on to minutes on number 8 as amended. So we have, what is it, purchase request number 34, in the amount of $43,147 for the Hancock campus.
Do you have any info on this, Brad?
Yep, so this is the 4th payment request for LJJ's work out at the Hancock bathhouse.
So this will take care of him.
There'll be one more,
Son?
yep, then it should be done. And there might be a final order for retention.
Yeah, because our balance to finish is 36,000.
So if you, well, the campground is pretty much closed right now, but if you were to go by there, I mean, the brick matches, you can hardly see the difference in the addition. It looks really sharp. And the electrical's, that's what they're working on right now.
Is the cost what was expected? Everything's done?
So it was bid out and, yeah, they did request, us to review additional material costs. They haven't given me any hard copies because their costs went up so much from the time it was bid till the time it was done. But it's gonna be totally the purview of the city council if you wanna do that. It's not required. So at the next meeting, I might, I'll hopefully have something if they still want to request it.
Campground is amazing. I heard nothing but good things down there. Anything good is just icing and cherry and
Yeah.
that's pretty good. But it's good.
So you need a motion for this again?
Right.
What is the motion for?
Motion is Stuart Miller.
I don't think we did a motion.
No, we haven't done.
No, we haven't done a motion. I'll entertain a motion and I'll say, for purchase request number 4 for LJJ Construction LLC, the amount of $42,147 even for the Hancock campground bathhouse renovation.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All right, moving second. Any discussion? All right, we'll do roll call.
Wait, I have it, so, what was the original, we're voting on paying them the 43,000,
Yes.
and the original that we agreed on was what?
199 and some.
Oh, okay.
There's a change order, so it's about.
There's 36,000 left on after this payment, with another 36,000 of the original amount.
So we're still working on the original.
Yes, there was one change order for 832.
Okay. Got it. Carry on.
Very well. Yield to the floor. Anything else? Okay, roll call vote.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Levine,
Yes.
Rickard,
Yes.
Worsler,
Yes.
6 in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right, so that concludes our business for tonight then. So I'll move on to our second and final public comment. Anyone who wishes to address the council will be recognized. Mr. Zurich, you have the floor.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager. According to my map here, there's streets that are supposedly, they're not dead end, but they're in the near future, they're gonna have to be completed, particularly the road coming off at the end of Birch Street near the Coca-Cola plant, going up to Campus Drive. Okay, down from the old Apostolic Lutheran, the road is blocked off because it's not completed. Well, over here, off of Garden Street, going up more or less up the hill towards Fulton County Ice Arena, that particular street, which is actually end of Ingot. According to my records here, we paid Seiler $15,500 for 2 areas on Ingot. This fellow tells me, he said, well, Ingot was never completed on the side of the fence going towards the Fulton County Ice Arena. And here they, more or less, the city's paying $15,500. Well, okay, the road ends, supposedly it ends at the corner of Birch and Ingot. But the question I have for you guys is, why is that not completed? Or else it's not in the said contract? I don't know.
So the work on that Seiler bid, that we accepted the bid for the $15,000, was for the west end of Ingot Street, right by that fence, and then up on elevation in Ingot. And that would have been the east side of Elevation Street. That work did not get done this year. We did not pay them. They had just bid it, and the plant closed, so we are not getting that work done this fall, even though we were hoping to. There's a new home going in at the end of Ingot Street, and that's why the road is being extended.
Well, the thing is, in the near future, Mary, it will probably be developed in that area, like I said, excuse me, along the RV trail, going down towards the Coca-Cola plant. And the road is basically, it just comes to a dead end at this present time. I imagine it's going to be, in the near future, it's going to come into a more or less a developed, that area is going to be developed.
So I think you're talking about West Campus Drive, and that is a large project for us. And right now, the goal would be to try to find some matching funding so the city doesn't have to pay 100% of that project. And right now, we have not found the option for that. But it is on the list to get done, to get it paid, so it goes all the way through up to the hospital. But but we're kind of waiting and hopefully gonna find some additional funding for that.
What I was concerned with too is like, to see if we can go after some grants to put adequate lighting on that RV trail from supposedly Dakota Street down to Tescoco. I don't know, you'd have to go after the DNR because they maintain a said RV trail. I don't know how you guys could go about that. And then, of course, you're aware of the excessive speeding on North Lincoln, right down here, certain hours of the day. I'm sure that even like, I'm sorry to bring this stuff up, but sometimes it bothers you.
That's what the public comments is for.
I mean, that's what the public comment is for. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Zurich. Anyone else who would like to address the council? Okay, I do not see anyone else. I will now close our second public comment. So as is custom, I will now turn it over to the other council members if they wish to promote, plug, or speak on any topic of city interest person.
I do want to mention something, it was Monday, I brought my kids to school, and I see a police car 3 times during the school. That's a good thing, So, the police officers, I love seeing them, especially around the beginning of school, the end of school, traveling around the schools to make sure the children are safe in the school. I appreciate them and everything they do.
All right. Well, at this time, then, unless there's anything else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Whitney has a motion, Kurt has a second. All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Aye. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening, we are now adjourned. You guys are making it total finish.
Is this one I signed anywhere?
Yeah.